Hello, CSFL. Demons owner here. And for once, I get to introduce the commissioner. First time ever. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Yes, man. Thanks for having me, man. Make sure that you can hear me loud and clear.
Absolutely, I can hear you. So, Johnny, I'm going to hand it over to you. We've hit 500 videos. Anything the commissioner wants to say to the league?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the 500th video. This is 5 seasons now. It's been a great adventure. It's been a great bunch of games and some real classics. And we're gonna do a bunch of shorts with all the owners and some of my favorite clips. And also, I've got a special video for everybody. For the 500th video, doing my top 10 best CSFL games of all time.
I'm
So
looking
I'm
forward
gonna
to that.
that one there because it's quite the list. There's only a room for 10, and it's hard to narrow it down. I'm not gonna lie.
You can add some runners up.
Yeah, I'll have some honorable mentions for
All
sure.
right. Good, good. Yeah, there's too many games to choose from for to narrow it down to 10. Eh?
Yeah, and I got to get it out quicker because we've had just a couple classic games just last week.
Yeah, you wait too long, you're gonna have to knock some others off the list. Yeah. All right, so Johnny, here we go. Going into week 4. I don't think this has ever happened in the CSFL. Every team has at least one win. Every team has at least one loss. We've got 4 teams at 3-1. We've got the Rhinos, Dragons, Vipers, Cobras. We got 4 teams at 2-2. We got Gators, Demons, Scorpions, Piranhas, and then we've got the Werewolves, Wildcats, Blue Jays, and Bears at 1-3.
Yeah.
2 wins separating top from bottom. Everybody is alive and kicking in this league right now.
Wow.
Insane.
Yeah, super competitive. First time since season 1, actually, that we haven't had a loss, a team without a win in the first few weeks of the season. So that's already gone already. So I remember the Vipers and the Cobras had a losing streak there in season 2 and 3, and then season
good
4.
old Demons in season 4.
Good old Demons, guys. We're not gonna have to see any of that this year. No one's gonna be worried about being winless.
Yeah, and all the teams even the teams that are 1-3, any one of them could come back anytime now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Johnny. Then we'll if you've got to look after your son there, you can do that. We'll get into players of the week here. So to start it off, quarterback of the week. So there was some good choices here. Thomas Brown of the Gators had a very good game. Thomas Brown threw 4 touchdowns. Bradley McNamara almost made it, but it was his throw in overtime that just ruined the stat line for him. You can't be quarterback of the week making that throw. My quarterback, yeah. My quarterback of the week, when you narrow it down, seems pretty obvious that if you looked at the games this week, there wasn't as many insane QB stats as normal. It's Eric Watson of the Demons, 12 for 18, 66%, 449 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Wow. What a monster game by Eric Watson. Once again, when's the last time he threw 5 touchdowns? It might have been in the conference championship game in season 3 against the Piranhas to go to the big game. So he came out big. He came out swinging. It was almost like it was personal. That's how much he came out swinging.
I've been calling him out. And he's still a top QB in this league. Like I think he's run 4 touchdowns a game every game so far, maybe 3 or 4 anyway. And that game, he only threw 12 completions. 5 of them were touchdowns.
Wow.
449 yards on 12 completions.
Yeah, Eric Watson, the man of the week, man, with legendary performance against the Dragons, absolutely, and at home.
Yeah, at home, which the Demons 2-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. It's season 3 all over again for my Demons here, which is a good thing.
Which is a good season.
Yeah. All right, let's get into offensive player of the week. And this one, there was a lot of good choices for this one. Mark Marshall, the Rhinos, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a good game. Alan Dwight of the Rhinos had 5 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackie Wilson's Scorpions had a nice game. Willie Burnside's almost made it this week. He was flexing his muscles from a couple seasons ago. Blaine Strickland of the Bears, and Charles Hackett of the Cobras. These guys all just lit it up for their teams. I narrowed it down to Tiki Carter of the Scorpions, who had 16 attempts, 130 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Shane Antwine of the Demons. And the reason I went with Shane Antwine of the Demons for my offensive player of the week, we had 5 catches, 262 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the reasoning is simple. He only touched the ball 5 times. He averaged over 50 yards every time he touched the ball. And basically, and he got a touchdown more often than not when he touched the ball. He was just torching his corner on that side of the field and having a field day.
Yeah, absolutely insane performance by Shane Antwine. And honestly, you got to give it to him. I was thinking Mark Marshall in my head as well with the 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. I was also thinking Tiki Carter with those 4 rushing touchdowns. How do you not give it to a running back that's 4 touchdowns? But Shane Antwine, 260-plus yards. And for the record, the record for receiving yards in a single game is 289.
Oh, man.
By Mr. Eric Clemens, the veteran wide receiver for the Gators that actually retired last season, and he set the record at 289. So 260 plus, 5 receptions, 3 touchdowns, big win like that against a 3-0 team. Got to give it to him.
He just got one more catch. He would have broke the record by the way he was going.
He would have.
Eric, I love that. So we got a retired player who's holding the record. That's fantastic, man. I love that we're starting to see that in this league. The stats are fantastic.
I'm super excited about it, man. And a lot of these retired players are going to come back as coaches. So that's the next thing to look out for. Keep that in mind.
That's awesome, especially when some of the quarterbacks start retiring, because that's going to be wild. For sure. So this week, Johnny, defensive player of the week. I always feel like I'm struggling with this one. This week, there was a lot of candidates, tons of them. Could have went to any one of these guys. CJ Devlin of the Blue Jays had a big day. He ended up with 5 tackles, a sack, a pick, and 1 pass deflection. Irv Orlando of the Rhinos, 12 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble. Just insane games. Marcus Hollins from the Gators was big. Ronnie Miller from the Piranhas was big. Kel McDowell from the Vipers, just versatile stat lines. 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, 1 pass defense. It's like he's doing everything.
Yeah.
But I think you know as well as I do who this is this week. It's your guy. It is the Wildcats corner, Eric Gregg, as your defensive player of the week. 8 tackles, 3 pass deflections, and 1 interception, which was a 43-yard game-winning touchdown, defensive touchdown. You got to give it to this guy. Fantastic play.
Fantastic play. The Wildcats are now 4-2 in overtime in franchise history. They're just find ways to win in these nitty-gritty games in overtime. And it's also the first time that an overtime game has ended in a defensive score. So pretty epic, to say the least, by Eric Gregg, man. What a champ over there to seal it there at the end and take advantage of the young player, McNamara. And he's going to get over that hump in those kind of games, and he's going to get better. And I'm really excited to see the Bears quarterback progress and get over those little humps, because that's what happens in the first season. It's his first season, but Eric Gregg, man, it was such a tight game. They came back, clawed back, and wild ending for the Wildcats.
That's a new era for the Bears right now. Like McNamara with Sean Vincent and some of those other rookie receivers he's got out there. Like Strickland's still there, but Hilliard's not starting either. We're looking at a different Bears lineup, and McNamara's been doing well. Their record doesn't show it, but he's young. He's going to make some mistakes, but he's doing well out there.
He is, absolutely. I believe he's 2nd or 3rd in the league for passing yards. Let's take a look at it. He's 2nd in the league for passing yards.
Wow. Yeah, so, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. He's definitely slanging it out there. So, the defensive player of the week, Eric Gregg, gotta love it.
Gotta love it. There's your Wildcat mention. So far, 2 Demons and a Wildcat. So I guess we got to pick someone else for Rookie of the Week. That was unplanned. It was just coincidence, Johnny.
That's why I'm here. I'm here for the Wildcat mention.
Yeah, there you go. So Rookie of the Week, and this one, the rookies are stepping up huge this year. Lots of good play. It's hard for me to go a week without mentioning Todd Kidd and Travis Stovall, the Dragons. They both had pretty solid games stat-wise. Stovall fumbled, but he had a pretty good game despite the loss. He ended up with a big run late in the game. I mean, it was a little getting out of reach, but they had good stats. Craig Jackson of the Scorpions had 84 yards receiving on a pretty good day. Josh Bush of the Piranhas, right end, had 2 tackles and a sack. Not a huge stat line, but he's a rookie. Gary Moody of the Cobras did well. George Anderson of the Scorpions did well. Sean Vincent of the Bears was almost my pick. Almost. 5 catches, 150 yards and a touchdown. Great game by him. But it was Jeff Rice of the Scorpions that was my Rookie of the Week. Jeff Rice is the strong safety, 8 tackles, an interception, and a pass deflection. Great game by Jeff Rice.
Yeah, huge defensive presence by the Scorpions, and man, did they ever dominate. You watch that Werewolves game, and this is the 3rd time they've played in franchise history. They never beat the Werewolves before, and it felt like they took out 2 games of aggression out on them on that game, and Jeff Rice led the way and led his team in tackles, got the huge interception as well, and yeah, wow, good. Love to see it from the strong safety position. A young player like that, because it's a hard position to play, as we all know how good the offensive players are.
Yeah, I've been watching my strong safety get torched week in, week out. So yeah, it's good to see a rookie do that well. I mean, we have, I think Blake Williamson is the name of the Blue Jays. They picked to them early in the draft too, so he's doing pretty well out there. But Jeff Rice, great pick by the Scorpions in this draft. And yeah, he had a couple rookies the Scorpions owner did on this list this week, and they're looking strong. They look like after coming out of the gate 0-2, I believe they're 2-2 now on 2-game win streak after a giant win over those Werewolves.
Huge win, yeah, man. That's big for them. First time they've ever beat them, and it was a really decisive win too. It wasn't close in the beginning, but the Werewolves kind of clawed back. It was actually the first game that I've seen the Werewolves really not do well this season, because that's kind of the last year's Werewolves kind of peeking his head through. But Werewolves are also in a new era as well, like you're saying, with the young 83 overall quarterback starting, Brian Miller, who's really been impressing all of us. But yeah, it's tough. New wide receiver, new running back, new quarterback.
I like what I see from Brian Miller, though. He's going to struggle. He's a rookie. He's not going to be good every game. But he's been doing well too.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's rookie of the week, Jeff Rice.
Jeff Rice, Rookie of the Week.
Love it. Love it.
All right, Johnny. Well, any last words before we sign off?
No, that's just about the 500th video. Love the recap. Love what you're doing. Thank you so much for taking the time to make these videos, and I look forward to watching them every week, man.
Thanks a lot, Johnny. Appreciate it. See everyone next week.